problem? What does your sign say? Can I see? Don't buy a swastika. Do you think he's a Nazi?
What are you doing, Stefro?
Yes, he is a Nazi. What makes behaving like? What makes you say that? What's he doing for him to be a Nazi? You know that's when he did that. He said, "My heart goes out to the American people" when he was talking about freedom. Yeah. Okay, we've got to
Get out of our face now. You don't have to be here. You're not part of.
Get off our faces. What? What did you call me?
Called you a fascist.
Fascist? What? What makes me a fascist? What makes me a fascist? That sign makes me a fascist.
Oh my god. A lot of times these people, all they have is name calling, right? Because like, bro, if you, every time you get into a discussion, I'm not talking about like someone antagonizing you and stuff like that, right? But I mean, you can argue that this lady filming or with the camera or something like that were antagonizing the protesters, which I guess it could be a fair statement or a fair point, right? Because to be honest, to be fair, like the lady, asking questions to the protesters, she's not gonna change her mind about her belief system. The same way that these people holding the signs are not gonna change their mind about whatever they believe in, right? And I guess you have to ask, why do people believe what they believe, right? And it all comes down to they don't believe what they believe. They believe the source. They trust the source of wherever they get their information from, right? So for example, let's say these folks, if they, let's say listen to mainstream media, and the mainstream media is feeding them a narrative, right? A lie, whatever. And most people, regular folks and whatnot, and they have a certain belief system that has been built over for a long period of time. And their belief system has been like, well, the media has been right, the media can be trusted, and yada, yada, yada. So then therefore, now when the media tell them something that can be proven false, right? They're not gonna care about doing their own research or asking questions because they have complete trust in the source that's telling them that information. Because, to them, it's like, well, we're in the same camp. Why would these people lie to me? Right? But they don't realize that they are being used. They are useful idiots. Now, you could say the same thing about the right. Like, well, aren't these people being useful idiots for the Trump administration? Mm-hmm. Right? And some of them are. You can argue that, yes, some of them are just useful idiots for the Trump administration. Right? But now when you're looking at sources, you now have to ask yourself, okay, which of these sources are more credible? Can I even talk about the COVID thing still? I don't know, or is YouTube gonna restrict me? I don't know. The media had told me that these people, that stuff came from a freaking a wet market, right? And if you ask any questions about it or question the narrative, you automatically label a racist or xenophobic or a conspiracy theorist, right? That was them. Now, the same media also told me that, if I take this jab, somehow it's going to stop me from actually get sick, right? Turns out that was a lie. The same media told me that I have to take the jab. Otherwise, people who already took the jab will get sick because of me. So, and then you also, okay, now you take the jab out of it, right? You now have other stuff that have been proven wrong. Let's say the laptop, right? And at every turn, whenever these people get proven wrong, instead of actually coming back to the table and said, okay, we got this wrong, now we need to earn the trust of the people. No, they either double down or they will pretend, they will gaslight you. They will pretend like, no, we never said that. Oh, no, that wasn't me. I never believed that stuff. And they just it's the constant gaslighting to the point where you start losing people's trust. You start losing people's faith. And even regular folks, right? Regular folks looked at it and be like, yo, for 4 years or for 8 years, you've been telling me this guy's the devil, Orange Man bad, Orange Man's this, and Orange Man's that. But then when Orange Man wasn't around, things got worse. And then when things got worse, you are now gaslighting me that things are better. So why should I believe? And then that is the disconnect between those who are fully committed to the lie. Because in order for them to having to sit down and look with them and question the narrative, then they would feel stupid. And people would rather go to the end of the world or to the end of hell rather than admit that they were duped, rather than admit that they were lied to. So they would hold on to that belief system, or they would finally like shut their eyes. But you know what? I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about none of this shit. It doesn't matter to me. Just leave me alone. Which is like, I guess in a way, it's better to take a step back, be like, yo, this is way too much for me. I don't know what to believe anymore. So I'm just gonna take a step back and just watch. Versus for you to continue to double down on a lie. And because then that's when you just become delusional. You know, just like I sometimes, rarely, but I can still see, you know, when let's say I'm out, whatever, from very rarely, I will still see someone wearing a mask, still having that fear or still want to hold on to that lie that has been proven false, like for like a couple years now. And they cannot let go because to them, they were made to believe this so wholeheartedly. And to them to give up on that lie would mean that to give up part of their identity. You know, the lie that they had to, you know, hold on to. It's like, you know, these three Japanese and this island that even after like, you know, years or decades, Japan had surrendered. They were still fighting that war.
You're pointing to Elon Musk when he said that his heart goes out to the American people. That's what makes him a Nazi? Oh, you've got his points? You're just pointing? Okay.
1,000 words.
1,000 words? Okay.
Tells the story.
Okay.
The picture tells the story.
The picture tells the story. But did you see the video?
Thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is.
I gotta admit, when that when he did that shit, right, and I seen it for the first time, like, the fuck, this kid looks so freaking awkward as hell, yo. Like the first thing that popped into my mind wasn't like, you know, oh my god, he's a racist. There's the proof, right? To me, it's like, yeah, I can see why people would say that it's a Nazi salute, right? But the only difference is like, you know, I would see it, and then I'll give it the benefit of the doubt based on his track record of not being a racist versus someone who had always wanted him to be a racist. Then it would be like, yes, see, that's the proof that right there. That's the proof that we needed. And then it would actually, you know, use that and just run with it, right? So it all depends on your preconceived notion of who that person is already. And then you would make that judgment call whether or not, you know, that's the proof of him, you know, doing a Nazi salute, right? Because when on the other side you have, you know, let's say people saying like, well, that was a Roman salute, and it's like, I didn't know what the hell the Roman salute was, right? So to me, it's just, all I know is this was an awkward guy, and then he did some shit, you know, my heart goes out to you, blah blah blah, and then it's like, yeah, okay, but do I think he's a racist? I don't think so. Maybe he is. Maybe. Or maybe he was just trolling. Maybe. Who knows? But to me,